In this Halo Wars 2 2 versus 2 match, I am reliving the past. And what I mean by that is my teammate is DC Longshot, which is the originator of the Isabel OP, the double garage build for Isabel. And we are going up against another OG legend called Moosy. And those two have got history with each other. Good history, all right? Good history. And we have matched up against them in Team War. They don't really play as often anymore, just like DC Longshot. So I'm just here just minding my own business. Didn't even know this was a thing. And then I was being told about this. And fun fact, there is actually a stream of them playing against us as well. And the only reason why I know about this game is because someone in the comments had let me know about this situation. And so they have no idea who I am, but they definitely know who DC Longshot is. So this is the revenge match between them. I have no idea what's going on. I'm a newer player. I didn't come into Halo Wars until way after all this stuff happened with the Halo Wars 2. And so this 2v2 is going to be very interesting. It is going to be a triple supply, making a bunch of grunts early on, going after the power nodes because I am Shipmaster. And we're going to just get the mini bases right away, get our supply economy going so we can continue to produce the marines that we need, get the mini bases around, and just have a strong presence in the map as a whole. This is something that I still think is incredibly important to do. It's definitely important to scout as well, which is something that I will continue to get better with. But for now, this is what this build order entails. And so I do have enough to go ahead and get a second gen here if I choose to do so, and I am going to. So definitely a different build order this time around. We're going to prioritize more of economy than anything else. And because of the fact that we don't have shrapnel mines because we are Shipmaster, this is going to be a little bit interesting if we have to deal with jackrabbits. But they are WNSC. We have ourselves a Johnson as one, and I believe it's going to be Forge as the other. And right away, we're still looking good. We have 2 power nodes so far. They are going to scout us with a jackrabbit to see what we are doing, but currently there isn't much. I mean, I have my war console. We're going to go hero here. We will get the extraction leader point, so then that way we'll be able to fall back and heal. And I'm going to continue to work on these power nodes. If we can get a third one, that's going to be magnificent for us. We have a bunch of supply, which means we can keep producing a bunch of grunts and have them out throughout the map. So we have our 3 grunts that we're going to go ahead and have and cross right over. So then we can go ahead and have them just chill on this side. And that's exactly what we're going to end up doing. Now, if I knew the hold position, we can actually make those grunts stay hold position as a whole. But every time I do right trigger left bumper, it doesn't really work for me for whatever reason. So it's something I have to figure out, I guess, down the line. But we're now going to send some grunts over to see if we can go ahead and see if they have the double mini. But the jackrabbit is actually going to be coming after our node that we ended up having here. So we're going to have some units get sent over there. Meanwhile, we're going to capture the middle node, which that's looking exceptionally well. Bunker play is going to be a play that Johnson is going to go ahead and do. And Red has their leader out as well, so this may be a little bit problematic down the line. We're going to start producing more ghosts, mainly because of the fact that if we're dealing with a Forge Hog, I want to be able to go ahead and deal with that appropriately. And that's if we are going against Forge. I know I showed the leaders, but I was not paying attention. So Ghost will still continue production. We have Shipmaster ready to go. We have 3 out of the 5 power nodes, which is really nice. And the second base is now going to go ahead and be established as well. Now, we still want to keep making as much units as we can, but we have ourselves 3 power nodes. It's looking good. An expansion base, that's looking good. Ghost production, looking good. And so now we have to just see if we can turn the push towards their side of the map just to make sure that they can't come over here. And so I know we can activate the bridge whenever we want, which is a cool thing to have. If I'm able to put those grunts in hold position, it would help out, but don't know how to do that with these control schemes that I have set up right now. But ghost production will continue, and we're not going to get shielding as well. We're just going to have enough to be able to just deal with this problem. But we do have some grunts now in those garrisons to go ahead and fight on that side of the map if they go ahead and try and defend that mini. And dark blue is also going barracks, which is going to be very nice to see if we're going to go and have an engagement later on. Now, dark blue still doesn't have a second base yet, which is going to be a little bit problematic. Definitely felt like it's worth grabbing that base when possible, but we're going to have our units go after the mini base at the top, while dark blue is going to start with their engagement against yellow at the bottom. But with that bunker, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. But these are holograms. Actually, they're not holograms. If they were, we would be able to see it. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there. But so far, it's been a very quiet Tech 1 game. But now we're going Foundry. So we can go ahead and just be ready for the next transition, which is towards vehicles. And we're going to have a cleansing beam as well, ready to go. Our economy is looking good right now with extra supply pads being upgraded, and we're going to go air pad with Foundry. We don't have the additional vision that we want with the vehicles because we never went 2 points on banished raid, but we do have some units that are going to be ready to go ahead and start being a bit more aggressive than what's currently happening right now. And red did show themselves up just for a little bit, and I'm not going to go ahead and take that fight against the bunker. But right now you have 2 enemies at the bottom over there, and so I got to come in for the flank. Warthog is there with the Johnson hero and a bunch of Marines as well. So snipers are going to do a great job dealing with that. I do have a cleansing beam that's going to do great against these Marines. A great a great drop by Isabel. Mac Blast is going to be coming in. A blast, Mac Cannon, Jesus. But we were able to clear all that stuff out. I wasn't really engaged in that fight, but now we can go ahead and get the next power node that we have. And I've got their double mini neglected and destroyed as well. So far things are looking relatively well, and we don't really know what their next transition is, but we're going to continue with the Foundry that we have going on here. We're going to clear out this bunker so we can go ahead and grab this node while we speak as well. So far everything's looking good. We have huge map control right now, which is very nice. And because we have huge map control, we're going to easily be able to see if they're getting an expansion base at the top right side of the map. We are going to start making some locusts. We're going to make some additional supply pads in that extended mini. And now we're going to send our army over to see if we can go ahead and stop this expansion, which that expansion does not even exist to begin with. So we're going to send our ghost over to the other side in order to see if we can grab another base, because we have so much resources. Not that much, but enough to go ahead and grab an additional base, since right now we have a lot of things upgraded. Additional engineers will be made, which is nice to see. And we're going to start working on another mini base that's going to be at the right side of the map. Now, we have snipers going to be posturing up on that ramp. We do have our ghost that's actually visible at the top where there's a jackrabbit set up over here. So ramp's going to come in to clean that up, and that means we'll be able to go ahead and grab the other base when we choose to do so. And so Foundry, with the upgrades that we're going to go ahead and have, Marauders will be coming out really soon. We're going to get that additional power gen in order to get that additional power working. And now they do have some siege turrets, which can be a little bit problematic, and it does look like Johnson will be going mech, so we can at least get rid of one of the mantises. And with what we have here, I'm going to start working on the siege turret, but this is going to be a little bit of a problem. This is a pretty big army to go ahead and deal with. Our shipmaster is going to try and do their best to just get out of there. This is not a fight that we can't take at the moment. But because they're going vehicles, I don't think Marauders and Locusts is the right play, but this is the tech that we're going to go ahead and stick to. But we will get ourselves a raid camp now to start a transition over to Hunters while we go get ourselves another base. Meanwhile, Isabel's using hologram and working on the bunker at the bottom, but they will be able to get the hero, maybe, just maybe, if they're able to go ahead and focus it down. It's very close to dying, but it gets into the bunker, unfortunately. But we're going to see if we can go ahead and push with what we've got to see if we can finish clearing up that bunker to get rid of the heroes, since they're all crunched up pretty nicely there. But it does look like they may have escaped. I have no idea if the hero escaped or not. But a huge scatter bomb is going to come down on the army, and we're going to have to fall back a little bit. It's kind of a little bit of an overcommitment on our part. I don't really have the proper army comp to fight this either. We do have Reavers to help start dealing with the Nightingales that are in the sky, but honestly, it's not really looking too well with this fight. Dark Blue had to go ahead and retreat, and so I'm going to go ahead and retreat myself as well. And if we can get everybody together for an extraction, that would be very nice. A bunch of rams are coming in, so extraction is going to happen. Our shipmaster did not get out, but we were able to cloak our way out of that situation. But we're still going with vehicle upgrades, which is a little bit surprising because I think Hunters is the way to go here. So we're taking a little bit longer than what we would like to go for this transition, but we have enough resources for base defenses to come up. But yellow and red have a little bit more traction now in this map, and so we're going to make some shrouds, help with the siege that they're going to end up happening from Forge. But we need to start pumping out hunters, and we need to start doing it fast. And unfortunately our army got out of position here, but we will have a cleansing beam that's going to go after the Nightingale. At least we're working on a little bit of the Mantis. The splits are relatively good. Meanwhile, just a heads up, they are PC players, so it's going to be a little bit more harder for us to deal with the micro that they have, because their micro is pretty decent for what it is. But right now we're just stacking units, which is not looking good. And so we are going to keep with this Locust play, which I think is a little bit dumb. We definitely don't need to go Locust at this moment. The correct play is Hunters. Definitely a second raid camp is needed here, so we'll see if we'll end up doing that. But for now, we have a very damaged Shipmaster. We have ourselves kind of postured up on this side of the map, on our side of the map. We have to see if we can go ahead and do something about it. And I noticed that Red is going to start sending a Warhog over for the expansion base to see if we've got said thing. I do have displacement, but it doesn't look like I need to go ahead and do anything about it. It looks like they're going to go ahead and attack Longshot's base. That's going to be at the top right. And so I'm going to go ahead and clear out the Warhog that's going to be on our side of the map. And there we go. We have confirmed division based off of the node. But if that's the case, that's going to give us a cue to go ahead and move out more on the right side of the map to deal with that situation. So all in all, we're going to start trying to see if we can do some additional damage, which has pulled away Red's army, which is nice to see. But Yellow's coming in with a nice flank, but they're going to fall back just a little bit. The tanks that Longshot has is actually looking very good with some snipers. They're just doing some great micro play right now with the dark blue. And so we're going to continue to work with this push, which is not going to be bad. Displacement, we do have it if we need it. We got mass cloaking as well. And huge engagement. We have restoration drone. We have our tanks sitting in there. We're clearing a lot of Red's army, which is nice to see. The Yellow's army still in the back doing a lot of damage right now. We're going to have to start falling back. But all in all, it was an alright trade. Ghost of the Machine was popped to get rid of 2 Mantises in the back, but it's still not really a problem. And here we go. We're still making some Locusts. No idea why, but we have some tanks that are continuously doing some good work. We're going to get ready to displace the army. I was so very surprised. If we displaced that army on us, we would not have been able to do a good job stopping that. But we still have plenty of tanks. We have some hunters showing up as well. And we're going to start getting our base defenses up on our expansion base when we get more supply going. So all in all, it's still a back and forth kind of pull over here. But we need to just find a way to just break this. And the only way to break this, honestly, is just to get some hunters. We need them badly. So finally, we're making additional raid camps, which is nice to see. We do have vehicle level 2, which is alright, but once again, these Locusts are not really helping. We need more hunters, we need more infantry upgrades, we need to get that going ASAP, and right now that's just not what's happening. So we're still using Shipmaster just to make sure that they're not taking any of the nodes, which is nice. We're finally working toward Tech 3 because assault beams will be magnificent if we can get them. And there's still a bunch of siege that's going on with Red. And because of this, I know where their Kodiaks are, so if we can go ahead and go after them, that will be very nice to see. Meanwhile, we have our teammate over here that's going to be thinking about using the bridge, so we're going to clear this out first on this side of the map, and then we're going to see if we can go ahead and keep the pressure up on our side. But Red has a lot of units and they just use combat salvage, so we're just going to displace them out of the way. We don't want to take that engagement because we know we're not going to win that. So that means we can go ahead and start working on Red's army that's going to be at the top. I ping to let them know, or they ping to let me know that they're going to attack, but there's really no reason for them to be attacking right now because of the fact that those Mantis have combat salvage being used. So finally, we're going to have at least 2 raid camps set up. But it's still a little bit interesting here because of the fact that we don't really have everything we need, but we are taking an engagement on Red. We dodged a scatter bomb somehow. I don't even know how, but we did. But with the hunters that we have, we can at least start clearing out the remainder of the units here. But it turns out we really couldn't. We have to use extraction, but can we at least get rid of some Nightingales with the cleansing beam? And the answer is yes. We've gotten rid of 3 Nightingales. So all in all, that was a very good cleansing beam. And now Dark Blue just pinged because Yellow lost a lot of their army from the bridge, which is very unfortunate. They had a lot of Mantises and they lost it all because of that. And we're finally transitioning over to more hunters. We're going to have some blisterbacks as well. We're abandoning the vehicle play, which honestly needed to happen a lot sooner rather than later. I would have still liked to have a couple of Reavers with the army, but we do have one Foundry on our second base, which is why I got rid of the one on our main base. But this is the problem, like the fact that they can go ahead and just destroy this Locust army and we can't really have a proper response to this is a little bit frustrating, right? We put ourselves in this position, so we do have some hunters to go ahead and deal with this, but red does look like they're going to start transitioning over to our third base. And if they do, we have to get ready for this. So we do have some vehicles that are going to be heading over. We have blisterbacks as well. We know what red's trying to do. Our base has some shield gens. We're going to get some anti-vehicle turrets as well. And we have spirit support ready to drop in, which will give us a level 2 hunter. And we're sending a hunter of our own over there. So this is going to be pretty important to stop this because this is going to be a lot of red's army. And that's exactly what we're going to try and do. We do have ourselves a Mac being used, which only did a little bit of damage, but they also are dropping their upgraded Grizzlies as well. But we're coming in with the flank with the reinforcements that we have. We're going to get ready to pop mass cloaking if we choose to use it. And honestly, if we had a couple of Reavers, we can actually have the mass cloaking work out really nicely, but we don't. And so now they're going to start retreating because of the fact that we have a lot of units and dark blue is here as well for the heal. And this means red's going to lose a lot of their army. They just committed so much resources towards this. A Mac is going to be used, but that's not going to stop the hunters from coming in and destroying every single upgraded Grizzly tank that they have. Unseen Blade is now upgraded as well. And now we've done a lot of damage. And because of this, we can go ahead and start transitioning over to a counterattack because of the fact that we have some good armies. We have engineers that's going to be healing this. This is going to be very nice. And so now there's going to be two parts to this. The first part is get rid of the expansion base if they end up having a third base for any one of them, regain that map control. And then the second one is going to go ahead and just be about trying to see if we can push red side because of the fact that they're currently set up on vehicles at the moment. And if they start their transition over to, let's say, air, I need to start being ready for it, which is why Reaver production is going to go ahead and continue back up. So third base is being established by Moosy right now. And that means we need to go ahead and try and take it out. If they have digging in deep, that means that resource stuff will be for free. But still, I want to be able to deny that base. And I know we have the army comp to be able to do so. And so with what we have now got, we have to set up our blisterbacks and get ready to pressure on that side of the map. And there's some hornets showing up by red, so we don't really have much anti-air whatsoever. We need to go ahead and try and respond to that accordingly. And if we can, this is going to be an opportunity for us to at least take out this base because there isn't much air yet. They're starting that transition, but they're not there yet. So we got additional shield gen that's going to be made. We have cloaking already set up on that base. And we're going to easily be able to take out the base on that side. Meanwhile, dark blue is going to be ready to go for their big push. So now we have to see if we can set up a good pincer attack in order to go ahead and try and eliminate the enemy over here. So my plan is simple. Since I have the extra vision from the hunters, I want to see if I can set up the blisterbacks and start the siege and try and reinforce Reavers along the way, so when their air does show up, we will have a response towards it. And dark blue will go ahead and pressure on yellow side and see if they can go ahead and go about anything in that situation as well. So they're going to go ahead and double check where yellow's at, make sure they're not taking the bridge, and they are not. So that means this is going to be my cue to continue my push on this side to see if I can do something about this. They know my army is here now. I'm attacking the watchtower. We got to get our blisterback set up. So for now, we're going to go after the watchtower to get that cloak and then go after the other turrets that are going to be around the map. Blisterbacks are ready to go ahead and set up, and there are a little bit of air, so we do have two Reavers, which I think will be enough to zone this out since we have shrouds as well. And yellow's going to be coming this way as well, but this is where dark blue can go ahead and pressure. Ghost of the Machine will be used, and this is going to be a huge one. It took a lot of their mantises up, and it's going to help protect the blisterbacks as well since they are still alive. And now they're going to start their retreat, but we do have some great moves over here, and now the tanks have shown up as well. So now we can send our army over here and attack red as a whole. We have everything that we need in order to deal with what's over here. We don't have vehicle level 3, infantry upgrades level 3, but we'll deal with that. We're going to get rid of the siege turret with our blisterbacks. Yellow's taking on a good fight, clearing all the mantis with their Y move. And now you have the hornets over here as well, but a cleansing beam, a level 2 beam. It's going to get rid of a couple Hornets. We got rid of around 4 or 5. And it's going to zone the rest of them out while we go ahead and focus down on the base. So now red's base is in shamble, yellow's base is also in shamble, and I don't think they have an opportunity to go ahead and recover from this. So because of that, yellow ends up disconnecting first and red follows suit. So this was a very interesting game. I was happy to be a part of this. They may not know who I am, which is absolutely fine. I'm here to just enjoy and have fun with Halo Wars 2, but all in all, we were positive on both sides, which looked very good. Our economy game was spectacular. Definitely could have done better with the upgrade standpoint of things, but hey, we'll continue to get better little by little, and thank you for all the advice and critiques I've been getting nevertheless. And with that being said, it was an honor to participate in this historical match. And if you want to check it out, it is on twitch.moosy, I think. With that being said, enjoy the rest of your evening, afternoon, hour, whatever it is. Keep being awesome, and until the next commentary video.